stay in the streets in peace. And nobody closed their shop because the ANC was marching. I didn't go to the ANC. And Matata of South Africa and that's the result within the shutdown. The shutdown will be finished on the Senate. But Mama Fenleti, because their relevance is about the shutdown, there is no need to close the streets for you to be heard. You must march, you'll be listened to. You can raise your voices. This is a democracy. South Africa is not a banana republic. We fought for this democracy. But in a democratic dispensation, because they are missing the past that they were never part of. We wanted to a strong goal for Aspen and everything. Because we were fighting apartheid. Today, you cannot find a democratically elected government by means of insurrection. Because this is a democracy. And if you want to win, you must win the voices of our people where they live. Ngesixhosa sibabiza ngokuthi ngabantwana boqhekeko. They joined hands with abantu ba-1960. Bayile bathwa mobahlethwa mo-ANC. Mandela ababiza kawuri ngabantwana boqhekeko.
Insurrection, my sister, is a big terminology. A big political terminology. If you break it down, insurrection is about essentially stalling and stopping economic activity. And then when you stall and stop economic activity on its own, it means you want the state to crumble. And therefore, when the state crumbles because of economic activity that has been brought about by political interference, violently so, then that in itself accounts for insurrection. So it's nothing that I've coined. It comes from the books. Political science have taught us that insurrection, it is something that is about interrupting economic activity within the state. But you can't promote insurrection and call for the stall of economic activity in a democratic dispensation. Now, here in South Africa, you've got the right to protest. But to shut down, it goes beyond protest. And you're right, as a political party, as an individual. You are basically challenging the authority of the state. You are basically challenging the rule of law in the country. We don't venture into political parties and what they want and what they don't want. We are not against the EFF marching or doing anything. We are against anarchy and chaos in our country. And we will not keep quiet about that. Chaos and anarchy cannot be promoted by self-respecting, peace-loving people of our country. The ANC is against that. We will not speak against the right of political parties to express themselves against us, including marching and doing all sorts of things and calling our own president and the state president to step down. But a political party with 10% cannot call for an insurrection to bring down a president who's been elected by a whooping 57%. And if the president has got to step down, it should be through the will of the people and through a democratic process, not through anarchy and chaos. Society, for a very long time, has embraced and have looked at this chaos. It is time to frown upon it. We don't have any business with what the EFF does as a political party. But what we are saying, the EFF and everyone who promote chaos in this country, the rule of law must prevail. And that is all what we are saying as the African National Congress. So we will not in any way be about shutdowns and all of that. Our political characterization and understanding of shutdowns is that they are counterproductive to what we want to achieve. You can't talk about an economy that is underperforming, and then you say that a hawker in the street must close down on Monday. We march through the streets of Tshwane peacefully. We have to tell these people who are here that you don't have to steal and all of that. They must give business to the people who are lined up as hawkers in the streets. The shops did not have to close. These shops are owned by people who've got nothing, who cannot afford to close a shop even for lunch. These taxis that run here, for them not to work for a day, it means that a person who's a breadwinner, that taxi is a breadwinner in a family. For that day, people will not eat. And then you call yourself a revolutionary party. We challenge that in terms of the ideology, that you are the party of the poorest of the poor, but you serve people who are doing work in the streets that on Monday, they must not come to work. You are a black political party and espouse Pan-Africanism and blackness, but you say black children on Monday must not go to school. That is not a struggle. During apartheid, we fought against a slogan that says education must be in the backyard. And then we said even the gutter education of Bantu education must be studied by all. And we must fight a just struggle to overthrow the apartheid regime. So we will not support anything of that sort. Our people came into the street and marched peacefully, and it is not the end. From here, we are moving to Port Elizabeth.
To serve our people. And we must never protect each other in the wrongdoing. Here in Tshwane, raise those placards, reward. IRI, DA-led coalition had 5 mayors in 8 wasted years. DA-led coalition, neglection of service delivery in the township. DA-led coalition, scrapping of Wi-Fi rollout program in our townships. DA-led coalition has neglected service delivery where the people live. And somebody here says, Lala Mokolo DA udlalile nathi. Lala Mokolo DA, Lala Mokolo. Lala Mokolo DA udlalile nathi. Phambili ANC, phambili. Thank you very much, Congress. Thank you. Comrades.